Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Hitoner Chapter 6. I'm excited to get to continue. The next chapter is confirmed to be coming out in 2 weeks, so I guess we've had enough of a sample size now to say that this is just going to be a every other week series. We'll get a new chapter every other week, and I will do my best to continue to make videos like as close as I can to as soon as the chapter comes out. I'll try my best there. Might fall behind here and there. Hopefully I won't, but I'll do my best. Everybody's been really great and supportive, so thank you for that. And also, I was like, just going to it, I was like, chapter 6 already? I was like, I thought we were only at like 5. I had forgot we're all the way at 6 already. It feels like it just started to me. But either way, let's see what we get, because this is a part 2. This is Hito Symposium part 2. Chapter 6 of this heartwarming story in which different species learn about one another begins. And we're just directly continuing. It's the least episodic we've been so far, I think. Passing on the fruits of human technology to the chemo. Now then, do you all know what it is that allows one to go to space? For example, let's say Hitoshi were to throw a ball at an unbelievable speed. He could do such a thing? It's a metaphor. Oh, that got me for a moment. Or were he to throw it horizontally from his place on the Earth, at this speed, gravity would balance out and the object's height from the ground would remain unchanged. This is referred to as the orbital velocity at Earth's surface. Converted to our planet's units of measurement, it would come out at around 30,000 licks per hour. The 30,000 licks. I've never heard of such a speed. It far exceeds the licks we've managed in the past. Furthermore, the speed that would be required to actually exit the Earth's gravitational pull, or the escape velocity, would essentially be at around 42,000 licks per hour. What I love about this is that you could compare this to Earth units. You could do the math and actually find out how far a distance a lick is. 42,000 licks. The difference is simply overwhelming. How could we ever reach such a speed of licks? Licks, his face. As altitude increases, the speed required would ease somewhat. However, in order to resist gravity when flying straight upward, it should go without saying that we would need far more propulsion than what our current steam engines and electric motors can provide. Which is where the gas combustion propulsion device comes in, the rocket. Then Chapter 6, the Hito Symposium, Part 2. This is Ham. We're getting Ham flashback. Starting today, he'll be joining our bureau. Do your best to get along with him. He draws a clean line despite his hooves. Whoa. And we see like all the things they have to do to be able to like write and live and stuff. Hey newbie, why'd you come here? With those drafting skills of yours, you could have even better handwriting. There's got to be better paying jobs for you than this. Because I'm looking to create something no one else ever has. A vehicle to get us to space. To space? You serious, man? Well, you got my interest. I'm on board if you think it'll make some cash. But space is a vacuum. A place without any air or even matter. How are you gonna power the thing? I got my eye on propelling it forward with a little combustion. I also really find it interesting and like the idea that they didn't go with like an old feudal type society, but they also didn't go for what would be the easiest choice. The easiest choice would be to have this set in a society that is analogous, basically, like at the same time period as our current modern human society would be, or even a little bit into the future so they could have some futuristic technology, but we've instead like had it set in what is kind of like late 1800s to maybe early 1900s sort of a time period in terms of what their technology is like. And of course their technology and their sort of society differs from ours in terms of like population density and all this other stuff, but still it is an interesting time period to have put them in technology wise. Then, by utilizing the recoil from the gas, we can generate thrust even in the vacuum of space, and it's real simple in how it works. Just light a fire against some fuel that's been solidified into a cylindrical shape and you're up in the air. Whoa. The problem is, with a simple structure like this, it's impossible to control the propulsion or even stop yourself. To use it on a vehicle, we'll need to create a combustion chamber that allows perfect control. And we've got a problem. The combustion chamber for putting out high-pressure gas is too high temperature for any existing alloy to withstand. Our only option is to load it up with a ton of coolant. We'll need a combustion chamber meant for incorporating a separate power source so that we can power a high-pressure pump that can continuously circulate coolant so that the chamber's bulkhead and jet nozzle can remain protected so that it's melting, it's freezing. The intricate piping needed for such high and low temperatures compromises its airtightness. Finally, after all our efforts and adjustments, the prototype is complete. Alright, start it up and we have another explosion. That's enough, Ham. You've all put in an admirable effort. Oh, wait, Chief, I know it keeps exploding right now, but I'm sure we'll find a way to perfect it. No, I think you've done enough for now. It's helped me understand how unnecessary this endeavor is. What? We need to discern whether it had any usefulness in terms of transportation, or whether any industries could find their place in a zero-gravity environment. But you all proved for us the safety risks. But all you proved for us is the safety risks would outweigh any possibility of profits. The sooner we detect and remove unsuccessful technology, the better. This is but one of the Design Bureau's many important tasks. Wasting time on useless research affects all of society, after all. Verifying the merits of such a propulsion method was in itself a difficult task, but you have accomplished something remarkable, Ham. It was no small feat. I'll be sure to provide you with a seat befitting your achievements. This is our foremost office of trade policy within the Ministry of Industry. Congratulations on your promotion, Ham, and we see how time changed him. Goodness, the Hito truly are incredible. They even prepared the real thing for us. Vacant coastal land for experimental testing. Now then, while we prepare for launch, I will use this time to provide an explanation and allow Q&A. It's got to be wildly different from my poorly built fire-spewing tubes, right? The rocket's functions are incredibly simple. So give me the deets. Let me in on whatever magic you use to get to space. Using a high-pressure pump, fuel and oxidizer are continuously pumped into the combustion chamber, like a waterfall with resulting high-temperature, high-pressure gas being ejected from a nozzle at the rear side of the aircraft. The reactive force from this gas is then used as propulsion, allowing it to fly at extremely high speeds through both air and the vacuum of space. Minister, so proving that he was right that it was possible all along. Hold on, that can't be all there is to it. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead. He'd never be able to fly like that, so cut the crap. Hitoshi wasn't the one who developed it, but he told us that he was provided with highly reliable blueprints and assembly instructions. That sort of mechanism could never exist. I've already seen it with my own 2 eyes. There must be something else to it, like materials only available on the Hito's planet. I'm sure of it, so tell me about them, damn it. He says the constituent substances of this planet are exactly the same as those on mine. So there's no such thing as materials only available on the Hito's planet. Then, no matter what alloy you use to build the combustion chamber, it won't be able to withstand the heat after just a few seconds. By using liquid hydrogen and oxygen at an extremely low temperature as the fuel and oxidants, a high-pressure pump can circulate the internal components to keep them cool, or so he says. I'm telling you, if you use a complicated structure like that, it'll break under the pressure or condensate from the difference in temperature. If even a single hair enters that chamber, it'll explode in seconds. I'm sure the engineers used all their expertise to ensure that there would be no gaps that could allow that. Maintaining one's fur is important, she says, after glancing at what he wrote. I love the face. We will now begin the launch sequence. And they're counting down to it as he looks on. And they launch it into the sky. Hito's civilization is not some far-flung fantasy separate from our own. They're our brethren, having grown within the same laws of physics as we have. so we should be more than capable of catching up to them if we put in the effort. And one day we may even be able to walk the same path as them, shoulder to shoulder. This rocket serves as a symbol of the intersection of our civilizations. We've nothing left to say after our demonstration. Therefore, with this, we conclude our symposium. I thank you all for your attendance. So we were never wrong in our endeavors. We just came up short. I'd believed seeing technology from another world might help you let go of your feelings, but it seems to have shown you the endless nature of research. Drill. Budgets, time, politics. There are plenty of reasons why research comes to a halt. We can't know to what degree, but I'm sure the other Earth dealt with the same. So, how were the Hito able to progress so far? Now then, Minister, after all we've done for you here, you'd better rescind all those invoices you sent to spite us. This ain't so simple anymore. What? I've learned a thing or two about how to build a rocket now. We'll need to manufacture parts with unprecedented precision, build factories in service to that, and secure the beast power and housing we'll need to staff them all. Just because he showed us the finished design doesn't mean we can start building it anytime soon. Our precious little Hito said so himself. There ain't no shortcuts here, and that's just the way I like it. Even if you beg, Kanashima, I ain't letting you leave this planet until we manage to get a rocket of our own up into the sky. Minister, just be honest, would you? Can it, kiddo? And he writes him a note. While the reason I presented this technology to you today was for the symposium, it was also in the hopes of promoting regulatory laws for it. I hope you'll consider this. You what? You telling me to regulate something we haven't even created yet? Don't worry, we still got 100 years till we get there, so get off my back. So impatient, Hitoshi. For him, that time frame may be very soon. Someday they'll experience the romance of space. Okay, really good. I enjoyed it. I will say, once again, I kind of like when we get into the humor a bit more, and I feel guilty just reading through that the way I did, because I feel like I did not interject to say much at all, because it was very wordy. It was very going over how rockets work. But overall, I like that the story takes itself seriously like that. I like the fun of it and all. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun. But again, I feel if I have any criticism, though I appreciate how detailed they're going into things, I feel like the best, most memorable parts of it are the comedy, and I think that they would do well to lean a bit more into it. But, you know, I think it was great as is. I really like him. I really like his story here. I thought that was very, very good. How he went from somebody who had a dream to being somebody who's like, you know, I have seen that dreams have limitations. And to now be somebody who was shown that even with those limitations, with hard work and not giving up on them, you can still achieve these things. So now he is somebody who has got a bit of both. Like, he's not some person who's completely changed just by meeting Hitoshi here, but he has kind of completely changed in a way. It's somebody who started out naive in one way and then became naive in a new way through learning things, but now he has kind of seen through that as well and is more of a tempered person. And I like it. I like all of that. I thought that was really well done, and I don't think I have too much else to say, so I guess with that aside, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish I had more to say, but I guess I'll end here. Thank you. If you like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of the chapter, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Hitoner, much more on the channel. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's really appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member or patron, it's really appreciated. You get your name at the end of videos and get One Piece bingo early. Just hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls Dee Ban and Maru, Cheerwritten Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SGN Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ariel. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.